Welcome to Street Talk. I'm Loretta Rose. Thank you so much for tuning in to the show. Well, today we are bringing some more young leaders to you today on Street Talk. And I am talking with my first guest, the lovely Davornne Lindo. Many of you have heard of this beautiful young lady. I will just get right to it. She is the student that is going to Yale University. I said it, Yale. So she's on today with me, and I know she is going to be an inspiration to other young people, also parents. Her story, when I heard about it and when I thought about it, I said, this is another story of hope and inspiration. So welcome to the show, Davornne.
Thank you, Miss Loretta.
You're so sweet. I love your energy.
Thank you.
Oh, she's so sweet. And coincidentally, I just met you at the magazine launch.
You did for Miss Avery and Mrs.
And you were
Avery.
already booked today for the show.
Yes.
And I was like, oh, wow. So this is Davornne. I've heard a lot about you, and I'm just so proud of you.
Thank you.
So, Davornne,
Yes, ma'am.
you just graduated from high school.
I did.
How does it feel to be getting ready to prepare for college?
Graduation was relieving because it was like a load off, a lot of stress that I didn't have to worry about anymore. Preparing for college is more stress now. I got a week and a half to breathe, I believe, and then I started getting more documents through email that I had to submit to college in preparation for it. So
Wow.
it's more stress, but it's okay. It's healthy stress.
Yes, and you're all toned.
Thank you.
I heard you can run fast.
I'm decent. I do my
Listen,
thing.
she's so modest. She's I'm decent. See, I should have had you as my coach.
Oh.
I always want to run. You know, they say you got to walk first before you can start running.
Yeah,
but
you know,
I
it's
want to
baby
get
steps.
there.
Yeah, you know, if you just make your mind up that you want to do it and you go after it, it'll happen for you.
Wow. Let's
It's just
see.
determination.
I love it. So, for those that don't know, you have a story. It's a story of hope. It's a story of inspiration. You have just been determined, really seemed like since you came out the womb. But let us know. We're going to go backwards a little bit. Where were you born?
I was born in Jamaica.
In Jamaica.
Yes, ma'am.
And you came to America when?
When I was 7 years old, I came.
7 years old.
Yes, ma'am.
Wow. I know your mom is so proud of you.
Oh, yeah, she's really proud.
Do you have any other siblings?
Yes, I have 3 other siblings. It's 4 of us total.
Are you the oldest or?
I'm the second youngest. I have 2 older
Okay,
ones.
okay. So when you all came here, you started going to school here. From my understanding, you were in what, first or second grade, and you had to be held back. And sometimes that happens with a lot of moving and different things. But help us to understand from then to now what happened in that process.
It was a very, very rough transition. When I was in Jamaica, I was very used to excelling. I was top of my class. Even at basic school, I graduated #1 in my class, and I had to give a speech in front of my little kindergartners, is what you call it. We call it basic school. So,
I like that.
yeah, I was used to excelling, and to come from excelling to failing in America, it was a drastic, change. And the reason why I really wasn't doing well when I came here is because of the language barrier. I really couldn't understand what my teachers were saying to me, and they couldn't understand me either, so it was no win-win there. And then the culture difference I had to get adjusted to. So once I got acclimated to the language and the culture, I figured out that I could start excelling again. And it took me a year to figure that out because I had to repeat the first grade. Because I originally went to New Jersey when I moved from Jamaica. And I repeated first grade there, and I moved to Columbus, and my teacher, she saw potential in me. She said, she talked to my mom, and she said, I believe she can test out of first grade to the third grade. I think she can skip the whole second grade and catch back up. And she administered the test, and I passed with the expected score, and I ended up starting third grade the next year.
Oh, wow.
So
That's the importance of our educators, teachers, and I love the fact the teacher, she saw the gift. She saw something there.
she did.
Do you remember her name?
She was Miss Adams. Her name was Miss Adams, and I had another teacher named Miss Seal. It was 2 of them.
God bless you, Miss Adams and Miss Hill. That's what we need. Teachers, and I call them educators that go beyond educating. They That's their purpose.
Yes,
to
ma'am.
see it, you know, what's there, and encourage it and speak it and let you just run with it. And
Yes,
you did
ma'am.
that.
They
I love
did.
that.
Thank you. Yes, ma'am.
I love that. Well, so then you get to high school.
Mm-hmm.
You're in high school.
I'm in high school.
Do you know what you want to do when you first started in high school?
I thought I did. I thought I did. I said I wanted to be a pediatrician, and then I figured out I really, really hated math and science and decided blood. So I figured that might not be the best profession for me. So as I kept, trudging through school, I started discovering more things about myself. I ended up entering this speech competition called the Oratorical Contest. And it's just this competition where you have to memorize a 10-minute speech. You develop the speech, by the way. So it's all your own words, and it has to be constitutional based. So every bit of it is about the Constitution. And I went really far with the speech. I went to the national level.
Oh, wow.
And, I ended up getting to represent my post 135 of the American Legion at the national level. And that was the first time that had ever been done before. So,
Awesome.
it was an awesome experience. And it really showed me that I could really do more than I thought I could.
Absolutely.
And, I discovered I really like speaking. So I was like, I like debating, I like speaking. It's kind of something that comes naturally to me. So I was like, maybe political science, maybe something in government, because, government also is a subject I can get along with.
You're very engaging also. And you're so kind. You have such a kind spirit. Because when I first met you, also my husband was there. He had came towards the end to help me break down from the event.
Yes, ma'am.
And my husband, when I told him who you were, he was like, "Oh, that's that girl." And he was like, "Oh, hey, Mr. Ray." And he was like, "She is so nice."
I try to be, yes, ma'am. I do try to be nice and polite to people.
Oh, I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
So, have you been back to Jamaica?
Yes, ma'am. I went the summer of my 8th grade year for a week.
Okay.
And it flew by. It was not long enough, but it was something, so that's better than nothing. I'll take it over.
I know they're all proud of you.
Yes, ma'am.
So, you're in high school, applying for colleges.
Mm-hmm.
You get this message. I mean, just tell us how this worked. I mean, because to see an email that you're going to Yale.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I know you can run, but I can see you jumping too. How was that moment?
Opening the email.
Yes.
It was very unexpected because in my mind, and I know I probably shouldn't say that because you should always have faith and believe in what you want to accomplish. But in my mind, I'd already told myself that I wasn't going to get in because I already had my mind made up on going to Naval Academy. So, it was really a gamble. It wasn't a gamble for me because I already had a college that I was set on.
Okay.
So if I got in, it would have been an added bonus, but I wasn't really set on getting in. And so when I opened the email and saw the acceptance letter, it was
Wow.
it was a very enlightening moment. It was ecstatic. Like it was
I know
just
it was.
it was very, very like disbelieving.
I know it was. And you're a young lady of faith.
I try to be. I try to be, yes, ma'am.
Yes. Yes.
So yeah, it was, I screamed. I was really excited. I told my coach, my sister, I called my family members. Everybody knew about it before, the next
before
10
the
minutes.
news knew
right.
about
Like,
it.
was it got out really quickly.
Yeah.
So, it was cool.
Wow.
Cool.
So, your mom, what would you like to say to your mom? Because I know your mom is going to be watching, and I know I'm putting you on the spot, but the reason I'll say that, because I'm speaking to you as a mom.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of time, we as mom, we always praying and believing the best for our children. And sometimes our children don't understand or never know what we go through wishing the best for them.
Right.
But I know Mama has been a praying woman. and she is just ecstatic as well.
She is ecstatic. She's very
with
happy.
all the opportunities that are available for you.
Mm-hmm. She brags about it all the time.
So I would love for you to say something to her because I know she's been a great support system.
Oh yes.
And I'm feeling you, Mom. I'm feeling you. So I'm gonna let you say something to her.
Okay, so Mom, I just want to say thank you for pushing me, for being my biggest fan, and just being such a great supportive person, always encouraging me and having faith even when I didn't. Thank you.
You're gonna do well,
Thank you.
I am so proud of you.
Thank you.
So let everybody know, when you go to college, what are you going to major in, and what is your long-term goal?
My planned major is political science, and I want to be a senator.
She's gonna do it well.
I hope so.
You're gonna do it well. Oh, well, I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
We're going to take a break, and then we're gonna come back, and then we're gonna talk to Donnie Dawson Jr. And then we're gonna bring you back on, and then we're gonna let the both of you have a little chat with us before we close out.
Okay.
You're watching Street Talk with Loretta Rose here on CTV Beam.
Hey folks, I'm Bear O'Brien, and over the last 40 years I've been able to share my mornings with you on radio, and I've also been able to share my inspirational message every morning. It's a chance for me to share my faith with you. Now we're bringing it to TV thanks to CTV Beam. You can catch us every Monday through Friday morning at 6 a.m. and 8 a.m., the inspiration of the morning. I'm so glad to share it with you. So please be watching every Monday through Friday at 6 a.m. and 8 a.m. I love you. God bless you.
Welcome back to Street Talk. I'm Loretta Rose. And again, I am having a great time with these young people. They make me feel very empowered. Now I am talking to the athlete. I call him Champ. I've known him for a very, very long time. I am so proud of him, Mr. Donnie Dawson Jr. Hi, Donnie.
How are you?
Good. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
I'm so proud of him. Again, he is just finished his freshman year in college.
Yes, ma'am.
Freshman year in college. I've been knowing Donnie since he was very little. You're now in college in Florida?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, what's the name of the school?
Stetson University.
Stetson, that's right, Stetson. And you just graduated from Columbus High School in 2017,
Yes,
last
ma'am.
year. Does it seem like it's been a year?
It doesn't. I feel like I was just in school yesterday.
I know, I know. And when you're in high school and about graduation, you know, you're like, I'm so ready to get on out.
Right.
But that year goes by so fast, and before you know it, 3 more years are going to be gone.
Right.
Then you'll be graduating from college.
Yes, ma'am.
So, Donnie, how is it your first year of college has been?
Excuse me. Well, I mean, it's different. Like, you're on your own, so you're having to make adult decisions that you normally wouldn't make living under your parents' roof. I basically learned, you know, like, mom and dad's not going to be there for you to tell you, like, you need to go study or you need to get off your game and you need to go to bed. Like, that's something you have to do on your own. You got to be responsible.
Yeah, that is so true. Now, I agree with him on that because, you know, with Chastity, my daughter, you all know, her first year in college as well, we had to tell her the same thing. We're not there to be that alarm, you know.
Right, yes,
we do check in every now and then, like, are you up? And you making sure, and tell her to check in.
Right.
But what we learned too is that they do treat college students like they are adults.
Correct. Yes, ma'am.
They really don't have no communication with us as parents.
Right. Yes, ma'am.
And so you have to be responsible. And the reason I wanted Donnie to share is because a lot of high schoolers graduated from high school thinking that they're going to go off to college and it's going to be like high school. Oh no, they're going to get a rude awakening, right?
Yes, ma'am. Most definitely.
It's not like that.
Nothing like that.
Not like that at all.
The work is more critical. Studying is, you need to study a lot more than you did. Basically how in high school, you know, some kids were like, oh, well, I don't have to study for this, I know this. And then college is totally different.
Yeah.
Always got to be prepared.
So, Donnie, you were in sports throughout high school.
Yes, ma'am.
Donnie, you were playing the saxophone,
Yes, ma'am.
running track. He's fast. Another fast one. In football.
Yes, ma'am.
Now you're playing football in college. Your mother is so super proud of you.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Oh my gosh, she is your greatest cheerleader.
Of course.
she is your greatest cheerleader.
Yes, ma'am.
If you never think you got a fan, you know you got one in your mom.
Yeah, you can hear her in the stands, all right?
Yes, yeah, and she was a cheerleader herself. But we are so proud of you because you're being a leader.
Yes, ma'am.
And it's so important. See, it makes me want to cry when I think about it. It is so important that you know who you are and lead by example, because there are so many things that's pulling, or because you have so much freedom too, you know, you have, you can pretty much, they can go in and out when they want, you know, because they're allowing them to be treated, be like adults, but you have to make wise decisions.
Yes,
and just like you were saying, being responsible and doing what you need to do. Were you able to maintain that though, as an athlete and making great grades? How are you able to maintain that and still come out on top like you did?
Well, to be honest, my first semester wasn't my strongest. I kind of let a few things distract me. I had to learn my second semester, you know, like to buckle down and to really understand what's important. That's put my education first before I put my friends and different things of that sort.
That's good, Donnie. That's good. Also, Donnie, we're gonna help somebody. Donnie, you have had to face some giants.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Okay, this real talk right here. You have had to face some giants, and Donnie has a story that is another story of hope and inspiration, because what people said you couldn't do, you didn't accept that.
Yes, ma'am.
Because of what man may have thought of your statue.
Right, correct.
Tell us how you overcame that.
All right, so basically, I played football my whole entire life. I've loved football. It was the sport of my dream. And in high school, I always wanted to be a Division I athlete. Ever since freshman year, I was like, I'm going Division I regardless what it takes. So I started reaching out to all these different coaches and everything, going to camps. And one thing they told me was, you're too small to play at this level. You can't play at this level because you have to be this height or this size. And I remember one time I was talking to my mom. I was like, Mom, I don't know what to do because these coaches, they don't want me. Like, I'm putting in extra work on the field. You know, I'm lifting weights, I'm getting strong, but these coaches, like, they won't take a chance to look at me. I remember my mom told me, like, to never give up and always have faith in God, and that to use people's negativity as motivation to yourself to make you better. So I would continue to put in extra work, and I remember I would have late nights where I would just go to the field and, like, do drills and different things of that sort. So I ended up going to a camp, and I performed really well at the camp, and I actually that's where I got my first Division I offer, and I ended up committing to that school to play.
Awesome. Wow.
Yes, ma'am.
Awesome. I love that, because that's an encouragement to all of us, to anybody. You know, if somebody said no, no, let that be a motivation for you.
Yes, ma'am.
And that's what you did. And Donnie, when I've seen you in the summertime, you always were working.
Yes, ma'am.
You were always working out, just staying conditioned, you
Yes,
know.
ma'am.
And I think that's something, a philosophy that will help us all.
Yes, ma'am.
And so now you're out there playing the field.
Yes,
when I
ma'am.
tell you he's fast, he's fast.
Thank
But you know, you were fast when you were little. We couldn't catch you. You were fast when you were little. We just didn't understand why you were so fast. It was all for now.
Yes, ma'am.
So now that you're in college and you've completed your first year, let us know, what is your major? What is your long-term goal for Donnie? What's in the future for Donnie?
Yes, ma'am. I'm a sports business major at Stetson University, and I want to see if I could use that to be like a sports agent, or be like help athletes get different types of jobs. Like, because me being an athlete myself, I'm playing with all these different athletes, so I also have connections and different things to that sort.
Yes. So college life has taught you a lot?
Yes, ma'am.
It's taught
Mostly
you
more to be how to be independent and live on my own.
being independent, yeah.
And responsible.
And I love that, being responsible, and that's what we want other young people to get.
Yes, ma'am.
And I'm pretty sure you've had a great, strong foundation of faith in your family as
Yes,
well.
ma'am.
So what would you like to say? Because your mom and dad, you come from two great parents, and I've known Donnie since he was a little boy, and because I knew the giants, and we all face those giants, his just encouragement, his just determination, it will encourage you. And so that's why I wanted Donnie to be able to share it, because a lot of time young people, they'll settle for that.
Yes, ma'am.
And then they'll let their dreams, they'll let them go based on what someone else said. But you're teaching somebody too, and your life is a lesson in itself. So I appreciate you sharing that today, part of your story. Now I want you to share to your parents as well, because I know they're so proud of you, and we're so glad you're home. But I'm going to let you share with your parents, from your heart to theirs, your appreciation and gratitude for them.
I'd like to thank my mom and dad, Mary and Donnie Dawson, for being there and supporting me through the hard situations where I felt like giving up on myself, but y'all didn't give up on me. Also, my younger sister, one of my biggest fans too. I love you so much, Summerlin. I want to thank you for being there for me.
Yes, and I love you too, Summerlin. She's my goddaughter. Yes, I forgot, that is your other biggest fan too. Yes. Well, thank you, Donnie. We're gonna bring on Davornne. She's gonna come back, and then we're gonna allow Donnie to share with her. And then we're going to let them close out the show. You're watching Street Talk with Loretta Rose here on CTV Beam.
Okay, so we drowned the fire, stirred it, drowned it again, and now just feel if it's cold.
Yeah.
Cool.
Smokey just gave me a bear hug.
I know. I already posted it.
Welcome back to Street Talk. I'm Loretta Rose. My special guest today, Mr. Donnie Dawson Jr. and Miss Davornne Lindo. So I hope you've been enjoying the conversation with these two. And we were just having a conversation, and I always love to ask young people. I had another group of high schoolers and college students on a couple of weeks ago, and I asked them a question about if you could change anything about your generation, or if you can enhance it any type of way, what would you do? So I had this conversation with them, and I would love to hear your input on that, because you all are living in this time. And as I was sharing with you all, a lot of the things that are happening in your generation, we've never seen in our time. And I know your generation is really gonna hold our future. And some of the young people, they're missing something. But then there's some of you got it. You got it, and I want you to share it so they can get it and change the world for the better, because we need it. We're gonna need you, because we're gonna get old.
We are.
We're gonna get old.
Yes, ma'am.
We're gonna need. I'm begging. I am begging this younger generation to pick up the pieces. So if you could do anything, Donnie, or if you can enhance it, just keep it real, what would it be?
Okay, so I'm gonna be brutally honest. It would be the ignorance. Our generation is very ignorant compared to past generations with a lot of wisdom, and just from even I've heard older generations tell me how back then they didn't have video games compared to now kids. All they do is stay in and play video games. Like, they don't want to go outside, explore nature, or they don't want to connect with people. They always want to be to themselves.
Yeah,
so that's my input on it.
You know what? You have a point there, because my mother said that before. She said when you were growing up, you all played outside. We played marbles.
Right.
We played hopscotch, jumping jacks. If it rained, we made our own slides. See, I grew up in the project.
Right. And that's what you're supposed to do.
We created fun. We used our minds.
Right.
We created things. We used our imaginations.
Exactly.
And so you're so right about that. That's a good point. Oh my. And since somebody else said, one of the other students said before, that this generation have an attitude of, I don't care. You got to care. You have got to care. How about you, sweetie?
I really think that we can up the creativity and determination factors. I saw a post the other day, and it said, why don't we have flying cars yet? And in my head, I thought because nobody's thinking of how to make it yet. You know, we're relying on past people to keep doing first, but those people are dying off, and it's time to start rebuilding. We're not going to keep being known as the nation of industrialists if we don't keep industrializing. We're going to lose that title. So, you know, it's up to us. Like, we can't expect dead people to rise up out of the grave and build things for us. We have to start using our own creativity and imaginations and be determined enough to accomplish that. So
I love that. That is awesome. Get busy. I love that. That is, wake up. I mean, you're right. You are absolutely right.
Thank you.
Only one was raised from the dead. And he said we would do greater works.
Right.
So let's get busy.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. I love it. I love it. I love it. So, you see, this is why I love to hang with these young people. See? I know about that old stuff. So, Donnie, you have completed your first year of college. Davornne is getting ready to go off to college. I want you to give her some words of wisdom, as if she's your sister, because somebody gave you some when you left. Right. And you really didn't know what you was going to experience until you got into it. And so just being her first year away, because you're like 7-8 hours away from home, she's gone a good little ways away from home as well. I would love for you to share with her from your heart to hers.
Okay, so I'm
She ready too, Donnie.
a few helpful tips. One is to be friends, like not friends, but like get to know your professor, because your professor is going to be the one that helps you out throughout that semester or whatnot. Make lots of study groups. Study.
Yes.
When you make study groups, you're engaging, you're building relationship also while having an enjoyable time while you're studying. Put your work first before anything, because that's what we go to college to do. We go to college to learn, not to play.
Right.
We work first, maybe play later if we have time.
Right.
Also, get sleep during the week. If you get it, if you have
I gotta
time.
work on that. I really have
If
to
you
work
have
on
time,
that.
because I promise you, during school week, especially if you have a lot of classes, that sleep is valuable.
So, okay, so with you being an athlete and, you know, in college, how does that work?
Sometimes I'm very sleep deprived.
Do you guys have to wake up
That's
like
right,
super early in the morning?
Yeah, and plus I'm in ROTC as well.
Oh, you did ROTC? You ROTC and track. Look, commonality.
Look at that connection. Y'all got to stay in touch.
I knew it was the reason we're getting along so well.
Yes,
Yeah,
look at
that's
that.
5 o'clock, 5:30 in the morning.
Discipline. Discipline.
ROTC, right. Do you guys have to do PT in the morning still?
Yes, we do.
What time do you wake up for that?
Well, normally on my schedule, because we have to be there 15 minutes before, and PT starts at 5:45, so I wake up around 5:15, throw on clothes, hair and everything. Oh, no. We don't have time for that. We just brush our teeth and then wash your face, and then I have about a 10-minute walk till I get to the field for PT.
So would this happen to be the Navy branch?
Army.
Army, okay. Maybe I might
So
be
you
a little
doing
more
Navy?
relaxed. Yes, ma'am.
You still probably have to do PT. I think you still got to do some PT,
Maybe the
Davornne.
time restrictions might be a bit relaxed. I don't know.
I love it. Yes. I think that's good, because that's a great discipline regimen, you know, to have. And I forgot. I didn't realize you were doing all of that.
Yes, ma'am.
You're balancing it well. Proud of you. I am proud of you. So, you have any more questions, Davornne? I love that.
Do you get to eat breakfast? Do you have time for breakfast?
Normally, it depends on how your classes are scheduled, because I would have at 8:30, but I get out of PT at 7 o'clock. So after I get out of PT, I go to breakfast, run to my door, and take a shower, and then go to class.
I was about to ask about the shower too.
One last tip too: if they call you about making your classes in the morning and saying that it's like high school, don't do it, because I promise you, in high school you have to do it. In college you don't have to. So you having to wake up at a time is not going to be enjoyable, rather than you being able to sleep in. So it helps a lot, because I remember they were telling me on the phone, they were like, yeah, make your classes around 8:30, because it's like high school. And then I wake up and I'll be like, why am I going to an 8:30 class? Like
So early, it's too much.
They bait me. Like I had a choice. I could have gone at 12 o'clock p.m.
So you guys don't get to make adjustments to your schedule throughout the year?
I think that depends on like what school or admissions, like where you go.
I know
'Cause
it.
I never made any adjustments.
My daughter, she could. UAB, no.
Oh,
That's why I said it's not like high school.
Oh,
It's going to be
God.
different. And I love that. She want to make sure when she going to eat.
because I like my food, you know? I like eating.
Well, I appreciate you guys. And I want you all to stay in touch with one another, encourage one another. You both are going to be away from home. And you both have a great connection. And you're going to be one day you're going to be able to encourage someone else what you're sharing from your experience as well. So before we get ready to close out, I'm going to let them close out the show, though. I'm going to say what I have to say, and then you're going to hear from Donnie and Davornne. I want them to share encouraging words to other young people and you that are watching because they have inspired me and encouraged me and uplift me, make me feel like I am so much higher, and I'm sure it would do the same for you. But before we get ready to close out, I want to allow you to have an opportunity to thank your church family, because I know a lot of people that go to your church family.
Yes, ma'am.
And if there's anybody else you want to thank, Donnie, I'm going to allow you. So we'll start with you first, Davornne.
So my church family is Greater Mount Zion Baptist Church on Seal Road, and they are the best church anywhere. They are a very, very great supportive system, and the pastor is actually my grandfather-in-law, if that's a thing. And you know, so it works. It really is a great place to be. It's nice.
Pastor William is a great pastor. I remember when
Yes,
he first
ma'am.
started there, and the church is it's one unit, a very
It
big
is, and
family
it's grown
supported.
so much in fellowship and everything. so
Absolutely.
it's great. It's great.
And Donnie, I'll let you share because I know there's some great people you want to thank as well.
I like to thank everybody that supported me throughout my entire process, that was there for me when I needed them. Also, I like to thank God for giving me the opportunity to do what I love and for blessing me with my abilities, because nothing is possible without God.
Hell, got it. I got that. You hear that? He said the G-O-D. You know who that is. And I want to say, I want to thank God, too, for allowing me to do what I do and to be a part of this young generations, be a part of them. They bless me. A lot of time I see myself in them, but I wish I had the tenacity that they have. But again, like I say, they would do greater works. I'm going to allow you both to close out. I'm going to say this has been Street Talk with Loretta Rose. I'm going to turn it over to these two. They're going to close out the show. They're going to speak from their heart, encouraging other young people and those that are watching. Mr. Donnie Dawson.
All right, first of all, I just want to say, there's a dream you have. Never let anybody tell you that you can't do it. Always stay motivated. Push yourself to be the best that you can be. Always pray about it too. Put God first, and just make it happen.
That's right. Make it happen.
Be competitive. If you're passionate about it, be competitive about it. I think most of my achievements, the biggest ones, came from competition with someone else. So let people push you in a good way. You know, just get out your comfort zone a bit. Don't be comfortable in your comfort zone. Like, you know, you got to get in discomfort to achieve something sometimes. So, you know, be competitive.
Well said. Well, I'm gonna, I feel like I need to just step it up a little bit more. They always take me higher. But thank you so much. I'm so proud of you both. Thank you so much for sharing your story, encouraging others. Again, change the world. Make it better than it was when you arrived. That's what you're game changers. Change it. Only you can do it.
Yes,
Can't
ma'am.
nobody do it like you.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you so much for tuning in to Street Talk with Loretta Rose. I hope you've enjoyed the show. Share it with other people, and especially our young generation. I'm Loretta Rose. Thank you for watching here on CTVB.